for today's pattern, we will be drafting the basic sleeve pattern. But before we draft the basic sleeve pattern, we need to measure first the armhole of our basic front and back pattern of our blouse. But how? Using our basic front and back pattern of blouse and our tape measure. So, we will be needing the basic front and back and also our tape measure. We measure it like this. So, we need first the back. Unahin natin yung back. So, how to measure the armhole of our back? So, using our tape measure, we measure it like this. So, nakatayo po ang ating tape measure. We will just follow the shape of our armhole. So, this one, the back pattern armhole is 20 centimeter. We can write it in some paper or another piece of paper so that we cannot forget it. The next, let's measure the sleeve or armhole rather of our front. So, this is our front pattern. So, we will measure it also like this. So, ayan. Just follow the shape of our armhole. Ayan. So, this one, it's 23. So, add the two measurement. For my back, I have 20 cm. And for my front armhole, I have 23. So, we can add it. So, 20 plus 23 is 43 centimeters. So, our armhole measurement is 23 centimeter. I hope you get on how to measure the armhole of our basic and front pattern. So we will use that measurement for the drafting of our basic sleeve pattern. Okay. After getting the armhole measurement, we can now proceed to the basic pattern of our sleeve. So, we need to get first the needed measurement to be used. So, our measurement na gagamitin is the sleeve length, armhole. So, my armhole is 43, divide by 2, it's 21.5, and 1/2 of my armhole. So, 1/2, saan ko kinuha yung 1/2 of my armhole? Ito po yun. So, 21. So, 1/2 of my armhole is 21.5. Now, let's divide it by 5. So, the answer is 4.3. Ganun din ang gagawin nyo sa inyo. So, iba-iba ang armhole natin. Next is the arm girth or arm circumference. Mine is 32. I-divide ko naman siya by 2. So, it's 16. So, these are the needed measurement. After getting the needed measurements, let's prepare our tools and materials. So, our materials is the Manila paper or pattern paper. The needed tools that we need is the French curve, tape measure, ruler, and for me, I'll be using pentel pen. But for you, you will use pencil. Okay? It's clear. Pencil po ang gagamitin ninyo, not pentel pen. I'll be using pentel pen so that you can clearly see what I am drafting here. Okay, so let's get started. Ayan. The first step in drafting the basic sleeve pattern is to fold the pattern paper. So, yung mine ay naka-fold na. Ayan po. This is the folded part. So, this is the open part. Ayan. Fold po muna ninyo ang pattern paper. Next, from the top of the folded part, measure 2 cm downward. Ayan. So, let's measure 2 cm downward. So, this is my 2 cm. Ayan, I'll be marking it 2 cm. And make a horizontal line. So, mula doon sa corner, magme-measure tayo ng 2 cm downward and make a horizontal line and mark the corner as point A. So, this is our point A. Okay? Next, from point A downward, measure the sleeve length and mark it as point B. Okay, from point A downward, so my sleeve length is 22. This is 22. So, this is my point B. Now, from point E, next step, from point E downward, let's measure 12 centimeter downward. So, it's standard. So, that is our point C. So, let's measure 12 cm from point A. This is my point C. Okay. Now, extend point B and point C to the right using our ruler. Ayan. Okay, so that extend the line. Next, from point A to point D. So, our point D dapat ay nandito sa line C. So, paano natin siya i-measure? How do we measure our point D? Ano ba ang kukunin natin sa point D? It is the 1/2 of our armhole. Ang 1/2 of our armhole, mine is 21.5. Paano nga ba natin siya kukunin? Like this, slantly. So, it is measured slantly toward the line C. Like this. From point A, doon nyo po ilalagay yung pinakadulo ng tape measure ninyo. Then, i-measure nyo slantly si armhole ninyo. Yung 1/2 ng armhole. So, mine is 21.5. So, it is my point D. So, that is my point D. Remember ha, yung ating point A and point C, anong measurement yan? Yung 1/2 ng armhole natin. Paano natin siya i-measure from point A slantly? Pa ganito. Hindi po pa ganyan. Dapat pa ganito. I hope it is clear. Okay, don't forget to point or mark it as point D. Okay, next is from point B to the right, measure 1/2 of your arm girth or arm circumference. So, mine is 16. So, this is 16. That is my point E. Don't forget to point E. Okay, now, next, connect point D and point E using ruler. Okay, next is point A and point D, connect it using also a straight ruler. Okay, now, divide point A and point D into 5. Kaya kanina doon sa measurement ninyo, pinalagay ko na para hindi na po kayo magdi-divide ulit. Nandito na siya. So, my 1/2 of my armhole, dinivide ko siya sa 5. So, it's 4.3. Now, mula po dito kay point A, magme-measure tayo ng 4.3. Or, i-divide natin tong line na to into 5. So, ang lumabas is 4.3. So, let's measure 4.3. So, this is my 4.3. Another 4.3. Another 4.3. And another 4.3. So, dinivide natin siya sa 5. Yung ating armhole, 1/2 of armhole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now, let's mark the point. So, this one, dahil ito na po yung E, this one will be our point F. This one is our point G, point H, point I, HI, ayan. Okay na tayo. Point F, G, H, I. Ayan. Now, after putting the letters, so na-divide na natin siya sa 5. From point from point F, ayan, si point F, measure tayo ng 1.5 upward, slanting pataas. So, 1.5 upward, like this. So, 1.5 cm. Ayan. So, this is my point J. Okay, next. From point I, ito yung point I natin. Kung dito kay F tumaas tayo ng 1.5, dito naman bababa tayo ng 0.5. So, hanapin ng 0.5. Ayan lang yun. O, kalahati ng 1. 0.5. Downward naman. Ito po yun. So, that is my point K. Okay. Connect point A, J, and H. Anong gagamitin natin sa pag-connect? So, our French curve. So, hanapin lang yung kung saan magtatagpo yung point A, point H, point J, and point H. Like this. Ayan. So, ito yung na-connect ko. Now, connect point H, point K, and point D using our French curve. Ganito naman ang position ng ating French curve. Hahanapin nyo lang yung pinakasaktong connection, yung pinaka-right position ng ating French curve. Ayan, nawala ng tinta. Ayan. So, ayan, na-connect na natin si H, K, and si point D with French curve. Then, this is how to finish or how to draft our basic sleeve pattern. So, ganun lang po ang pinaka-procedure in drafting the basic sleeve pattern. I hope nakuha ninyo, tandaan nyo lang yung mga dapat tandaan. So, this is our basic sleeve pattern.